Namaste students, I am JVN Dr. Aziz Mohammed Khan from Department of Food and Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the topic affinity and avidity. The subject name is immunotechnology and the discipline is food and biotechnology. So in the previous video we discussed about the antigen and antibody reactions. It is the continuous part of antigen antibody interactions. In this topic, we will relate the antigen antibody reactions in what type of reactions are conducted between antigen and antibodies. As we know that antigen and antibody interactions are very specific. Each antibody is specific for a particular kind of antigen. Okay, and the theory is that the interaction between antigen and antibody is just like a lock and key model. If a particular lock is opened by a particular key, then a particular antibody will bind to a particular kind of antigen. So this is the same theory. The properties of antigen and antibody can be explained with the help of 3 points: antibody affinity, antibody avidity, and cross reaction. So these are the characteristic of antibodies. On behalf of antibody, we can divide the antigen antibody interaction in 3 ways. The first is affinity. So what is affinity? Affinity is the interaction between antigen and antibody, which is very strong. If there is binding between antigen and antibody is very strong, they are shown to exhibit very good affinity. If the interaction between antigen and antibody is not good, then can we say that low affinity between antigen and antibody. Interaction between antigen and antibody involves non-covalent binding of an antigenic determinant to the variable region of an antibody. These interactions are analogous to those observed in enzyme-substrate interaction, and they can be defined similarly. So the affinity is the term which is described to demonstrate the strength of antigen and antibody interactions. So here in the formula, this is the antigen and antibody, and their affinity strongness will indicate that how much antigen and antibody are strongly bind to each other. So the binding ability will show that their affinity. Now the avidity. Avidity is also a strongness, but in the affinity, we were talking about a single type of antigen and single antigen and, and single antibody. Okay, one antigen and one antibody and their strongness. In avidity, we will talk about the interaction between antigen and antibody, but the number may vary, not a single antigen. Okay, different antibodies will bind to a single antigen. Okay, so it is a strength of bond after formation of antigen antibody complex. It is used to denote overall capability of antibody to combine with the multivalent antigen. Okay, so one antigen is bound by two or three, four antibodies. Okay, but in affinity, one antigen is bound by a single antibody. In the avidity, one antigen is bound by two or more antibodies. Okay, because suppose if one antigen and one antibody is bound to each other, if their affinity is low, okay, they can be dissociate easily. Then there might be more antibody which can come and can bind to similar antigen at different regions. Okay, they can come and they can bind to antigen to epitope of the different epitope of the antigen and can uh, strengthen the complex. Okay, a multivalent antigen has many types of antigenic determinant. Okay, so in this we can say that one single antigen have different various epitopes and various antibodies can bind to these epitopes. When infected to blood, each antigenic determinant stimulates the production of a particular antibody. The various antibodies produced by a single antigen combine with the different antigenic determinants of the antigen. So here, the number of antibodies plus one antigen. Number of M means number of antigenic determinants is equal to number of antigen antibody plus antigen determinants. So it is overall related. We can understand this with this diagram. Suppose that this is antibody, okay, and it is antigenic epitope. Okay, this is epitope, and this is antibody. If the binding of these antigenic epitopes are not stronger, then what will happen? There may be chances that some more antibodies will come. Okay, here some more antibodies will come and will bind to these epitopes. Okay, different epitope, not the same kind of epitope, but they may bind to different epitopes. Okay, this is the example of an affinity, and this is the example of avidity. In the first diagram, see, we can see that the antigen can bind antigen and antibody are bound very uh, strongly. Okay, very strongly they are bound to each other. But in the second diagram, look at here. Okay, look here. The binding between antigen and antibody at this site is not uh, okay. It is not strong. They can be loose. They are very loose. Okay, so they can dissociate very easily. So what can happen? There are some more sites. There are some more epitopes on which some other antibodies can bind. Okay, which can make the overall binding very strong. Okay, so what can we understand from the avidity? That avidity is the overall strongness of a antigen and antibody interaction. Overall means a particular antigen will be bound at different sites, making the complex very strong. Okay, but in the affinity, one single antibody was enough. Okay, one single antibody was enough for a antigen. So this antigen and antibody complex was very strong, but here it was not strong. So another antibody came and it bound another site, so that all the, overall this antigen will bound very strongly. So this is the concept of the avidity. The next reaction is cross reaction. What is the cross reaction? And cross reaction can be understood by the term specificity. Okay, an antiserum raised against an antigen can also interact with a similar antigen of another type. This is called the cross reaction, and the antigen which produces the cross reaction is called the cross reactive antigen. But the strength of antibody raised against its own antigen is strong. The bond involved in the cross reaction are weak. The serum raised against albumin of a hen's egg can cross-react with the albumin obtained from duck egg. The antiserum raised against human insulin will react with the insulin of pig, sheep, whale, etc. The antiserum raised against pneumococcal polysaccharide will react with E. coli blood group A collagen antigens. In this diagram, we can understand very well about the term cross-reactivity. There are three antigens with similar types of epitopes. Okay, three antigens with similar types of antigens: antigen 1, antigen 2, and antigen 3. Look, look here. This antigen is the actual antigen, which it's the specific for this particular antibody. Okay, this antibody needs to bind to this antigen, but in some cases, when if this antigen is little bit similar with this antigen, then what will happen? This antigen will bind to antibody except this one. Okay, the antigen will one will not bind, but the antigen 2 may bind to this antigen, to this antibody. Okay, but it is also chance that a similar type of antigen can also bind to this antibody. Okay, because they share some similar type of epitopes. The epitopes are little bit similar, so that this antibody can bind to any of these antigens. This is known as the cross reactivity. But one thing that should be noted is that this antigen, which was the actual antigen to which this antibody needs to be bound, and the interaction between this antigen and antibody is very strong as compared to this antigen and antigen number 3. So binding of antigen 1 is greater than 2 and greater than 3. Okay, so I will repeat it, and that this is there are three antigens in which similar types of antigens are present. The binding antibody can bind to any of these antigens due to similarity in the epitopes. Okay, so this similarity result in the binding of any antigen is known as the cross reactivity, in which antibody will bind to another antibody will bind to another antigen which was actually similar to the real antigen, but the binding of the real should be always higher than the non-actual. So our topic is over here. In the upcoming video, we are going to discuss about the types of antigen and antibody interactions.